Hi guys, today we're going to talk about something that completely destroys your physical and mental health. And you are exposed to that thing every single day, no matter what you do. Firstly, I'm going to explain to you why we're all exposed to that thing, what are the consequences, and then I'm going to share some techniques to get rid of it so that it stops destroying your health. That thing is chronic stress or excessive stress. We are all overly stressed every single day. It touches all of us because of work, because of school, exams, because of relationship, responsibilities, because of the pressure of time that we constantly feel nowadays. We have deadlines for everything, for our work, for homework, and because today we're always connected to stressors such as the TV, internet, social media. And really, the news and social media are the two biggest stressors because there's always bad and stressing news. Oh, what happened to that country, to this politician? Oh, there's a new conflict in Ukraine, there's a new war, there's a new something. And it constantly takes your attention and it makes you more stressed. And when you're overly stressed, when you have chronic stress, the consequences are pretty terrible. Firstly, you have a bad recovery. I've talked about it in one of my previous videos, but after a workout, if you're too stressed, your recovery is going to be terrible. It's going to be all messed up because you need to relax. So when you're too stressed, you have a poor recovery after a workout and you have a poor recovery in general. And what's the most important part of recovery? It's sleep, obviously. And we all know by experience that when we're too stressed, our sleep is horrendous. We struggle to fall asleep. We wake up in the middle of the night for no reason. We struggle to get back to sleep. And then when we wake up, we don't feel rested at all. Also, when you're too stressed, you have low levels of testosterone, which is extremely important if you're a male. Testosterone impacts everything in your everyday life. But when you're too stressed, you have high levels of cortisol. You've probably heard that term before. Cortisol is the hormone involved in stress. And cortisol isn't inherently bad. Like, it's normal to have high levels of cortisol in the morning, for example, to set your circadian clock and to get ready for the day. And also when you're exercising, you have high levels of cortisol because you're actually applying a mechanical stress to your body. But other than that, you should have low levels of cortisol. And when you're always stressed, you have high levels of cortisol all the time, which is very bad because it reduces testosterone, right? And testosterone is involved in maintaining and gaining muscle strength and muscle mass, in losing body fat, in brain health. So when you have high levels of cortisol and low levels of testosterone, you're literally functioning worse, right? Like literally everything in your organism, everything is diminished. You're thinking less clearly, you have less lucidity, less physical and mental strength. Everything is diminished. Also, someone who's overly stressed is more emotion sensitive. You're more likely to follow your impulsions, your anger, your fear, and then it makes you take the wrong decisions, right? It affects your decision-making abilities. And also, it has been proven that chronic stress is linked to reduced immune function. So if you're too stressed, you're more likely to get sick. So to recap, the consequences of chronic stress are a bad recovery, bad sleep in general, low levels of testosterone, which then impacts everything on your physical and your mental health, and also you're more emotion sensitive, so you make the wrong decisions, and you're more likely to get sick. Now, what are the strategies in our everyday life? Well, the first strategy is pretty obviously to spend less time on your phone, on social media. I've made already, I think, 2 videos about that subject, so I'm not going to be too long. You need to reduce your screen time, to reduce your social media use. It's very simple. You go on the parameters on your smartphone, you go on screen time, and you see how much time you spent daily on average the last week. And you try to reduce that time as much as possible. You should aim for 2 to 3 hours of screen time daily, on a daily average for a whole week. I'm telling you, I'm around 2 hours, even lower than 2 hours of screen time daily, and still it's more than enough, right? I still believe that I'm using too much my phone. So don't worry, you're not gonna miss anything. The next strategy to reduce stress is to incorporate mind breaks into your routine. Real breaks. When you're working for hours, when you're studying for hours, it accumulates stress. You need to stop it. You need to take a moment, just a few minutes. You close your eyes, you don't listen to music, you're in a dark, silent, and comfortable room, if that's possible, and you just empty your mind. If you're into that, you can do mindfulness or meditation, but that's not an obligation, right? You can just relax, close your eyes, evacuate all the negative and stressing thoughts, and this is going to reduce your cortisol. The regularity is very important. It's much better to do regularly throughout the day. Little mind breaks, just 2 to 3 minutes, it doesn't have to be too long, rather than doing a big mind break of 15 minutes in the middle of the day. So remember, regularity is key. The next strategy, the next technique to reduce cortisol, to reduce stress, is to exercise. Any kind of exercise is great. Lifting weights, doing cardio, playing a sport. Like I told you earlier, when you're actually exercising, you produce more cortisol, you're more stressed. But then, the rest of the day, it has been proven that you have lower levels of stress. You're releasing a bunch of stress, a bunch of cortisol for an hour and a half, and then the rest of the day, you're more relaxed. It has been proven also that people who exercise a lot are more stress resistant. So when you are confronted to a stressful situation, you're less likely to follow your impulsions, right? You're less likely to be stressed. And if you do it outdoors, if you exercise outside, it's even better. Which brings me to the next point. Spend more time outside. Spend more time outdoors. It's extremely important. Listen, just by experience, we all know that when we take a walk close to the sea, close to the ocean, close to a mountain, a river, in a forest, it empties your mind. It makes you happier, it makes you less stressed, more calm, more relaxed. It revitalizes yourself. It makes you take a step back, right? You feel way better after spending time in nature. And it can allow you to take the sun, which is also extremely important. When you take the sun, you're producing vitamin D, as you probably know, and vitamin D reduces cortisol. So taking the sun allows you to be less stressed. The next strategy can seem pretty awkward, but it's just to do a creative, artistic activity. It can be playing an instrument, drawing, cooking. I say it because myself, I play piano sometimes. I'm not a great player. But once in a while, I play the few musics I know, and I notice that the rest of the day I'm more relaxed. I'm less anxious. Sleep also reduces stress. Like I told you earlier, because of stress, one of the consequences is that you're gonna have poor sleep. But it has been also proven that sleep also impacts stress, right? On the opposite way. When you have a poor night's sleep, then the next day you have a spike in cortisol. You're more stressed. So you're more stressed the next day. So the next night, you have a poor night's sleep. So then the next day after that, you're more stressed. So you have a bad sleep. So you're more stressed. So you see, it's a vicious circle. So to end that circle, just take care of your sleep, sleep well, and reduce stress. And the last technique, the last strategy to reduce stress is to take some supplements. I say it all the time, but supplements are not a magic pill, right? It doesn't work like this, but it's something that can help you. The two supplements that have been proven to reduce stress are magnesium and ashwagandha. Now, I personally prefer magnesium because it's way cheaper and because it's more accessible. I've never seen ashwagandha in a pharmacy, whereas magnesium is everywhere and it's the most studied supplement. So take one of those, ashwagandha or magnesium, and it can reduce your stress. Now, to recap, the few strategies to reduce stress on a daily basis are: firstly, spend less time on social media. Secondly, to incorporate mind breaks into your day. Exercise, go outside, take the sun, do a creative activity, prioritize your sleep, and take magnesium or ashwagandha. If you do all those things, you're gonna drastically reduce your stress, I guarantee. If this video helped you, you can leave a like, subscribe to my channel as well, click the bell button, and I'll see you next time.